Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another horror movie night. Tonight, I will be reviewing Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, released in 1995. Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers stars Donald Pleasence, Paul Rudd, Marianne Hagan, Mitch Ryan, J.C. Brandy, Mariah O'Brien, Kim Darby, Bradford English, Leo Getter, Susan Swift, and George P. Wilbur. Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers was directed by Joe Chappelle. And this one was written by, I believe, first-time writer Daniel Ferrens. And that shows. That pretty much shows with this film. Although this film, a far cry from the worst in the original series that was Halloween 5, this is a big improvement over that one. Performances in this film are really good still. Donald Pleasence, as always, is great as Dr. Loomis, playing the role for the final time, unfortunately, as he passed away before this movie was released in theaters. Paul Rudd plays the character of Tommy Doyle in this, and if you people that don't like him in this role talk about him bad, man, he looks like Paul Rudd did an Oscar-worthy performance compared to Anthony Michael Hall's performance in that travesty of Halloween Kills. I mean, God. Whew. So, yeah, I don't want to hear any qualms or complaints about Paul Rudd's performance as Tommy Doyle when you got that shit to compare to. I thought Paul Rudd was pretty good in this, to be honest. Marianne Hagan, I was not really that impressed with her as Kara Strode. She's pretty bland and subpar as a final girl in this film. Mitch Ryan is always a standout great actor in anything he's in, and he plays Dr. Terrence Wynn in this, of course. And I would have loved to have seen him playing Dr. Terrence Wynn as Dr. Terrence Wynn was in the original film, and being this great friend and colleague to Dr. Loomis, and ends up maybe helping him out, and, you know, could have been maybe a actual, I hate to say replacement for him for future films, but it, you know, he could have set up Terrence Wynn to continue forward after Loomis had died. But instead, they had to pull the bullshit of making Dr. Wynn the mysterious man in black that was introduced in Halloween 5, which I don't like that twist. I don't like what they did to him. But that's mild compared to what I think of what this film did to Jamie Lloyd as a character. Not only did they not bring back Danielle Harris to reprise her role, they recast her with J.C. Brandy, probably the worst actress in Halloween, next to Wendy Capelin as Tina. She's not as bad as Wendy Caplin's Tina, but why? Why replace the original actress with this wannabe? See, in my opinion, the way that she is portrayed in this film, I think she's a fake. I think she's a fraud. I think she's a mental patient who met Jamie Lloyd, became infatuated with her, and started taking on her personality and believing that she really was Jamie. Meanwhile, Jamie ended up escaping that place somehow. That's in my head, that's my idea of what I think happened in this kind of timeline. I don't believe that this was not my Jamie Lloyd. I think this woman was an imposter. Kim Darby. I did not like Kim Darby's performance in the legendary True Grit. I thought she was over the top and horrible in her role. But in this, she's matured as an actress apparently, and playing Deborah Strode, she is serviceable. She's pretty good in this. Bradford English, her husband, John Strode, is one of the most hated characters in Halloween movie history, I believe. This character, people just could not wait to see this cocksucker get himself perished in this film. And he does get a really good kill in here. Leo Getter plays Barry Sims in this, and he was, prior to this, he was the boyfriend to Linnea Quigley in Silent Night, Deadly Night. So that was what I knew him from prior to this. I've never seen him in anything else really that much, but he was okay playing Barry Sims in this. Originally, this role was supposed to have been intended for Howard Stern. But for whatever reason, he didn't end up playing the role, so they ended up getting Leo Getter to play the role instead. George P. Wilbur is the first actor to reprise the role of Michael Myers in Halloween history. But I wish that when they told him, we want you to play this role, they would have told him to, do a really good workout, get yourself in really peak condition before you put on the outfit and you come in and play it. Because it's apparent that between 4 and 6 here, he's gained quite a bit of weight. And it just looks weird to see a kind of pudgy Michael Myers in a film like this. I mean, Michael's not supposed to look like that. Michael is supposed to be pretty physically fit. So that was a little different. But and I have a real problem with Joe Chappelle. They finished shooting this film as what eventually became the producer's cut. Joe Chappelle did not like the film, apparently, and asked the studio to allow him to do reshoots after Donald Pleasence had died. And he wasn't concerned about any new scenes with Dr. Loomis because he didn't like Dr. Loomis and had scenes with Dr. Loomis cut from the film because he thought that the Dr. Loomis character was boring. Fuck you, Joe. Fucking Dr. Sam Loomis was not boring. If you think that, you should have never been directing a fucking Halloween movie. That pisses me off.
And quite frankly, for years, I've seen this movie in the theaters as it was, as the version that Joe churned out. And I was like, okay, yeah, could have been better. And then I saw the producer's cut. I saw what should have been what we saw in those theaters to begin with. It is a much better film that way. Why the fuck did the studio decide to let this jackass director go and do reshoots on stuff that was fine as it was? I mean, somebody's gonna complain, oh, it was probably because of test screenings. I don't give a fuck about test screenings. Test screenings have been the death nail to many a great horror film. Fuck test screenings. It's because you're test screening them to people that are not fucking horror fans. Test screen them to real fans of Halloween, and they might react differently. Anyway, I don't want to ramble on this one too much, but I am going to give 2 different reviews by the end of this one, which is right now. So, the theatrical cut, I will give 7.5 out of 10. It's not as bad as Halloween 5. And it towers over this new trilogy of films that was released recently. But the producer's cut, I give the producer's cut a 8.7 out of 10. This cut is the one that should have been released in the theaters, as I said before. I think that this is a superior cut. I think it is well done. It basically follows what writer Daniel Farrens wrote. It's still apparent that Daniel Farrens was a very inexperienced writer, and a lot of the shit that he wrote in there wasn't as good as it could have been. And that makes you question what the hell was Mustafa Akkad and Dimension Films thinking, you know, going ahead and hiring this inexperienced writer in there and not actually going in there and getting experienced writers to do rewrites on this thing. But anyway, what did you think of this film? Do you agree with my review? Do you disagree? Let me know in those comments down below. And as usual, if you like this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon to be notified about future videos. And while you're by that subscribe button, don't forget to click that join button to become a Dark Knight fan. Alright, it's the end of another horror movie night. I hope you will join us tomorrow for another Dark Knight Films night. Till then, thanks for watching.